I'm doing right now is I'm starting the recording. Okay, what you can see now is what we call the Marketplace Seller Tools. If you've logged into your account anytime, you know that you're probably pretty familiar with what this looks like and how the different sections are divided up. Again, your seller ID is in the upper right-hand corner if you ever need it. We're going to focus our attention onto the storefronts and how to set them up. The very basic storefronts. We're not going to go into how to change the cascading style sheet code or anything like that. What we will be going through is how to add a header, how to add a left nav, a simple left nav, and how to add your featured products really quickly. Any discussions of any other topics regarding our marketplace in general should be refrained from. We definitely want to keep on topic today. Okay. So again, this is the Seller Tools, the Marketplace Seller Tools home page, and the area we're going to pay particular or to get into is the View Edit Your Storefront Settings, which is the third link from the bottom of the page. So here, it doesn't look like very much, but this is sort of the starting page of the storefront. And you have different templates from which to choose from. I'm selecting the one for today's purposes. It's called Blues, and it's just like as the name describes, it kind of has a blue tint to it. If you want to change any of those templates, simply select it and click the Update button. You could also change the name of your storefront. Okay, so let's look at what the basic storefront looks like. So we have 5 tabs up here: Store, Pages, Assets, Help, and View Store. We're going to go to the Pages tab, and we're going to click on Manage Content. Now what you see before you is a bunch of boxes, but these are boxes that are arranged in a very specific way. This is the basic layout of what the storefront will look like. That's not to say you have to fill all these boxes with content. You definitely do not have to. Any box that is not filled with content will not appear on the page. But this will give you a good idea of when you do place content in this layout, in any of these boxes, you have a great idea of where that content is going to be. For instance, for example, the header portion up top is where a lot of people like to put their logos, and we'll go through that example as well. Okay. All right. First of all, though, what we're going to do is we need to add some what we call assets. In order for us to fill these boxes with content, we need things to fill it with. So we're going to go to now the Assets tab, and I'm going to add an image. So we click Assets, and then Image. Now, as you can see here, I have some images already uploaded, but let's say that these weren't here, and we're going to upload an image for the very first time. So what you want to do is click the Upload button, and you'll see this nice pop-up here. It's very similar to how you would upload any other thing to like an FTP or some of the other things that you may use to upload things like pictures to Google or whatnot. You want to press the Select button and find on your computer where that particular image you want to upload is. In this case, we're trying to upload a logo. So I simply select the logo. I click the Open button. The name of the logo appears up at top. You could add more if you like, but we're just going to add one. And then click the Upload button. And it's as simple as that. You could delete images that you no longer need, and a pop-up will ask you if you're okay to delete this, and click OK. So that's how you upload an image. An image can be anything. An image could be a banner, a little piece of information about your company. But for our purposes today, we're going to use a logo. Okay. Now that we have some content, let's go back to Pages. And we're going to go back to Manage Content. Again, this is our layout. These are boxes. So what we're going to do first is to add what we call a container within that box, or what we call a web part. So to add a web part, you go over to the left under the Actions drop-down menu. Click on Add Web Parts. As you can see to the left, we have several options here. You could add HTML, you could add images, an image list, a product list, all the way down to adding a search box. The way to add a web part is the same for all these boxes. It's the same method. You may want to add different types of web parts to the boxes, and each of those different types have a different functionality. But for the most part, to add a web part is the same for any of these boxes. Some of these web parts will be larger than others. For example, the header stretches the span, whereas the left box, what we're calling the left web part, is a smaller area. So you probably won't want to add any larger images here as an example. So we're going to select Image, and we're going to go down to the Add To drop-down menu. As you can see, the Add To corresponds with the names of each of these boxes here. So again, you could add an image to any of these boxes, all the way, starting from header all the way down to the footer. And we're going to add something to the header, so we'll go ahead and select that. Simply click the Add button. As you can see, the container is added. It says no data is available for display. Well, we haven't added anything to the container yet, so it remains empty. As you notice to the left, our action menu has changed. It's now called a web part editor. We can configure the web part editor. We can change the layout of the web part editor. And whenever we do make those changes, we simply click the Apply button. Today, we're going to add an image. So we click the image text link, and this box appears. We're going to select one of the assets. In our case, it's going to be an image of the logo. Let's see if I can get the right one. Here we go. You select it. If it's a good image, that's something we can accept. You'll see that image, a little portion of it, or a thumbnail of it, towards the right. To select it, simply click the Select button down below. And there's our header. The header should not be any more than 1,000 pixels in width. The height is really up to you. Obviously, something not too high, because we don't want to push our featured products back below the fold. I chose something that was 1,000 in length. I opened up my area here to add maybe some other things that I wanted to add maybe later on. Now, the next part we're going to add is a left nav. So again, just like adding another web part, we're going to go over here, select Action, Add Web Part. The type of navigation we're going to add is the category navigation. Now, this category navigation is one that we maintain. If you select the navigation tree, that's one that you will have to maintain, which can prove to be very time-consuming. This is a navigation tree down here below that I started, but each one of these needs to have featured products associated with them. So you'll have to maintain each of those categories manually. Navigation tree is not as detailed as this, perhaps, but it's something that we maintain so that you don't have to worry about it once you add it. Now this time we're going to add this category navigation to the left box. Let's click Add. Okay. Again, usually this box will remain empty, but since we do have content, and it's content, in this case category navigation that's being managed on our side, it automatically populates because you can't determine what goes in here. Okay. Let's see. I want to mute some people here. So here we have, this is not what it's going to look like. This is just a skeleton of what this navigation will look like. The navigation appearance on the site will be determined by the cascading style sheet. Okay? So far we've added a header logo by adding an image. We have added the left nav. Now what we're going to do is add some feature products. So again, we're adding a web part. Let's go back to our Actions drop-down menu, select Add Web Parts, and we're going to add what is called a product list. Okay, and we're going to add that product list to this box right here, the center top. You could add it to this center header 1. You could add it to the center header 2. The particular style that I'm going to show you in our basic setup for Storefront will require a wider box, which is our center top or our center header 1. I'm going to go ahead and add this product list to our center top. And then we click the Add button. Okay, in this case, we are responsible for the content up here. So nothing is pre-populated. It is an empty container. We've just added it. To the left, our menu has changed back to Web Part Editor. We have our configure and we have our layout. Let's go ahead and configure our product list. Now the first thing I want to do is change the appearance. I leave this alone. The default product works very well. What I am going to change is I'm going to click on the Table tab. I'm going to change columns from 1 to 4. That means you're going to have 4 columns in that container to hold product. The direction I'm going to select is horizontal. I want the products to appear horizontally. Click the Apply button. Nothing's happened because we have not selected any products yet. So we go back to our menu here, and let's select products. Now there's 4 ways of selecting products. There are 4 tabs. One is by category, one is by store, one is by sales, and one is by SKU. So the category, very general. You could actually click down and select other things in here. If you have a pretty deep catalog, this can get quite extensive. I'm going to go very generic, and I'll select musical instruments. But before I do that, I want you to see what the store one looks like. So clicking on the store tab. Again, it's musical instruments. My catalog isn't very deep. This is the very upmost level, as that's what we call the store level. If I select this, then it'll make the product selection in the very general musical instrument category, which has a ton of subcategories. But since we're doing that at the store level, which is really easy, it does not show you what those subcategories are. This is for those who do have a deep catalog, who have a large number of images and do not want to specify any subcategories from which their featured products will pull from. Now, if we select sales, this will, if you notice, there's no category selection here. You're just selecting the product count. And I'll show you what that does later. Product count could be 0 to 25, or 1 to 25 actually. I select 24 because we have 4 columns. But what it does is it looks at you, the seller, what you've sold among your listings, and it'll take that and display the top 24, for example, products based on sales. There's another method called SKU. Now with SKU, you have to add the buy.com SKU. Okay? You add the buy.com SKU to the left, click add, and it'll appear to the right. Now, where can you find the buy.com SKU? Going onto the buy.com website, I'm going to select this product here. Buy.com SKU appears in several places. One is actually on the web page itself here. Another is you could just look at the URL up there, right before the .html. So a couple places. So you'd want to take that, copy it, paste it on the left, click add, and it'll appear on the right. You can actually get a list of these going. So if you were to add a bunch of these, you would add one, hit enter, add another, hit enter, add another, hit enter, and so on and so forth until you have as many as you, up to 24, 25 numbers. And click add, and all those will appear on the right-hand side here, of which you can change the order of using the up and down arrows, or you can even delete them using that red X button. Let's see what that looks like really fast. I added the buy.com SKU. I'm clicking the add button, and there you go. If I highlight it, I can delete it. If there's more here, I can change the order of them by hitting the up and down keys. I'm going to go ahead and delete it because we're going to go back to category. I'm going to select musical instruments. The requested product count is going to be 24, and then I'm going to hit the apply button. And those are your featured products. There are other ways of featuring products, but this is the basic storefront that we require all sellers to have, which includes the header, the left nav, and the featured products. If you need help with anything beyond this, there is an email address that you can email your questions to. And if you all have a pen and pad ready, it's simply storefronts at buy.com. We even offer, excuse me, the service where we would actually build out your storefront. Basic storefront, like what you see here, will cost $99. A more advanced storefront, which includes home page, product page, and category page, is $249. So what we've done here is about $99 worth of work. I'm going to go continue on to show you how to set up a product page as well as a category page, a basic one. Now we're going to go back up to the Pages tab. We're going to select Manage Product Page. Okay, so what is a product page? A product page is whenever a seller or whenever a buyer gets to your product, you want to have that persistent look that you've created, that we've created on the main storefront page. You could add various things like images above the product-specific information. And when we say product-specific information, we mean this information here on the product page, all this stuff here in the middle. Features, this stuff. You could add, a lot of that. This is the stuff that our system adds automatically. So that appears here. What you want is to create a header to make sure that your look is persistent when people actually select one of your images or select one of your products and gets onto a product page. So again, very similar like we did before. We'll go to the Actions menu. We add a web part. I'm going to add a header because I want my header to appear on all my listings. Click the Add. Again, my menu changes. I'm going to select Image. I'm going to select my image and hit the Select button. So now this header will always appear on the product page itself to keep the buyer within my store. I want to further add a hyperlink, a simple hyperlink, that whenever someone clicks onto my header logo, they're going to get directed back to the home page, which is very common among any e-commerce site. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is create a category page. Now, what's a category page is a search result. A search result appears in this area here. I want my look and feel to be persistent on the search result as well. So very similar like we did before, I'm going to add a header to the top. I'm going to go to this Actions drop-down menu, Add Web Parts. I'm going to add an image to the header on this Manage Category page. Same thing here. We're going to select our image, hit the Select button. Okay. I'm going to add a hyperlink. So if people decide that they want to get back to the storefront home, they can get there just by clicking the logo header. All right. Now, what does the store look like? You can select here to view store, or you can select this text link to view the store. There you go. That's what the category page looks like. Let's take a look at what the Manage Content. Let's go back to Manage Content. And then let's view the store from that view. Of course, if I had more products, it would extend further down the page. But we have our header, our left nav, and our featured products. My storefront isn't live, so when you click on there, you would actually see your persistent header up top whenever you click one of the listings. If you do any type of searching within this store, you will also get the header, the persistent header on those search results. Okay. So again, we've added header, we've added left nav, we added some featured products. This is the storefront here. We want to persist our look. We go to Manage Product page so that if a buyer clicks on any of your listings, the header will be persistent on those pages. We also want that look to persist on the search results. So what we did was go to Pages, Manage Category page, and add a header there. This header will appear on the search results within your store. Okay, now I'm going to unmute everyone's microphones here and headsets or handsets and open it up to some questions. Does anyone have any questions regarding the basic storefront?